5 centimeters per second is Makoto Shinkai, the plays Palm Star Early Days. Most recent animated feature, he actually took a break off for 2008. Yeah, you know you're big when. And first off, this is beautifully animated. I can't think of anything better I can than this live action animated. It's just beautiful. But in general, I will say this is not as good a movie as Plays Palm Star Early Days. It does have its great points to it. But overall, it is a more mixed movie. It's a good movie, but I'll get into that. The story for 5 centimeters per second is actually a very simple one. It's basically just a boy and a girl. It's Takaki and Akari, respectively. Are childhood friends, they get separated, and the rest of the movie deals with their separation. It is told in 3 parts, like I said, so it has time skips in between each one. The first one is their childhood burgeoning romance. The second one is kind of their high school years being apart. And the third one is college years plus. Now, I will totally say the first segment is my least favorite. It is not bad, but it's just really draggy and way too romantic for my liking. Especially considering the fact that you could say these people are in like 6th or 7th grade. I mean, that's not going to happen with kids that young. That's going to happen with adults, for crying out loud. Anyway, at the same time, I do like Makoto Shinkai's poetic way of stating things. It just seems a little silly for the children. On the other hand, the second segment, Cosmonaut, first one is actually Cherry Blossom. Second segment, Cosmonaut, is told from the perspective of a female onlooker when he goes to high school in another city. Her name is Kane, and she is a much more interesting character. She's into surfing, and she's got the hots for Takaki, obviously. And you know what? I really like her character. She's a lot better to relate to. She's not as annoying. She's not as romantic. And when she is, it makes more sense, at least, because she's a woman. I mean, it sounds terrible and stereotypical, but no offense. And, you know, it just worked a lot better. The story flowed better without focusing on the crazy, intense romance of Takaki. It felt more natural. And there was even some good little action, like you get the archery, you get the surfing scenes, are really cool. And there's just a lot that worked about this segment, and, you know, yeah. The final segment is appropriately titled 5 centimeters per second, is the shortest of the segments, but personally my favorite. It's basically Takaki dealing on with college and work afterwards, and he has to go along and try and live his life after his love for Akari, because she's already got married. They're too far away. Their lives are separate now. They can't do anything about it. And you know what? It's a sad ending, but at the same time, it's kind of bittersweet. And at the very end, he does realize, like, you know what? I just need to get on with my life. This is good for me. And this is the tough part about this movie. I'm not really sure what it's trying to say. I think it's trying to say you need to get on with your life. But at the same time, it has kind of like a real haunting message of, wow, life is shit. I think that's more just trying to get on with it, but it's a really difficult movie. It's just spread out. I mean, with the time segments don't really give you a chance to focus on particular moods aside from the longing that everyone has surfaced during the movie. But anyway, the story's pretty good. It's not a great story. It's fairly simple. It's certainly not as complex as his other movies, even Voices of a Distant Star. But I will say, though, I have my crazy crackpot theory here that I think this is actually a prequel to Voices of a Distant Star in some ways. Not in tone or in tone and mood, of course, obviously, because all his movies are like this, but just because in actual plot, like you see in the background that Japan has launched its first Elish spacecraft outside of the solar system, and I think that's when they meet the aliens from Voices of a Distant Star. But maybe that's just me. I thought I really saw the tower from the Place Palm Star Early Days in our movie, but I think that one, I don't think that one's possible. I'm gonna say no. Perhaps the alternate realities. I don't know. I'm not even going to go there. But anyway, it's a good story. It's not bad. Won't really rivet you, but it's okay. Kind of covered this one inadvertently, but the characters, I will say, Takaki and Akari, not too great. Akari is better than Takaki. Takaki is better in the final segment. I think actually just the final segment is better for both of them. Kane is really the best character. She was in Cosmonaut, the second part, and for other than them, they didn't really have much of characters. They were more like a fairy tale romance couple, whereas Kane actually had some kind of human qualities to her. I mean, it's not bad, but the characters certainly weren't thought. The whole point of this movie is to set you in a mood, rather than actually just some giant message, which is kind of off-putting if you come off of Place of Palm Star Early Days, which does try for a little more than this, but it's still comforting and it's still nice. when discussing the music, you really can't go without discussing the kind of titular theme song, or the 5 centimeters per second. It's a really great song. It plays in full with lyrics on the final segment. The rest of the music, not too bad. I feel some of it is overused. It does have some good remixes. I will say the remix of the 5 centimeters per second does get the mood across. A lot of it just seems a little repetitive, though. Maybe it was just me. I mean, the movie is only an hour long. You think you'd produce a little more music for it. But it's not bad. It's not terrible. It won't really get you down, don't worry. The only reason I'm noticing is because I'm rewatching this movie, purposely trying to look out for it before I review them. Anyway, it's great. You'll probably want to download the One More Time, One More Chance theme song, 5 centimeters per second. And yeah, actually I just made that mistake. Sorry about that. That's actually One More Time, One More Chance, not called 5 centimeters per second. But anyway, the music is pretty great. And lastly, we come to the set, CGI, whatever, and so I'll really only discuss the animation and CGI, because the others don't really apply for an animated movie. Anyway, animation, I can't say enough. This is where the movie shines. This is where Makoto Shinkai shines. It is absolutely gorgeous. If I could eat this movie, I would eat it. Yes, I'm crazy. But this is a great movie, just to look at. Even if you don't like the movie, you will constantly be enthralled by things like this. You cannot get better animation than this on DVD in North America right now. Actually, just looks-wise. I mean, maybe you like something better, maybe something is better. I can think of things that are better, but just straight animation, this is absolutely stunning. And the CGI is incorporated flawlessly. You'll never notice it. It's such an improvement from Voices of a Distant Star. And it's even an improvement from the Place Palm Star early days, which was equally as beautiful. What I like about this is actually the character designs have been improved since the last two. Makoto Shinkai is not a character design guy, and I warn you, if you watch Voices of a Distant Star, his character designs there are crap. They're terrible. Quite simply. But, you know, this is, I can't say enough. Go watch a trailer for this. Just type in One More Time, One More Chance, 5 centimeters per second on the YouTube bar there, and watch this. This is just a fantastic looking movie. In conclusion, this is a more slight movie than his last two movies, but this is still a good movie. The animation is incredible, if nothing else. The characters more used to propel the mood than anything, though Kane in the second segment, Cosmonaut, is a fun and lovable character. The story itself, again, as with the movie, quite slight, but overall quite nice, and with some dubious connections to Voices of a Distant Star, I think. But if you like Makoto Shinkai, this is definitely definitely check it out. You probably won't like it better than the last two, maybe. I know a lot of people love Voices of a Distant Star. I personally like Place Palm Star Early Days better. But regardless, if you like serious, mature anime, this is it. It is really romantic, though, almost sickeningly in the first segment. So if you don't like that, you probably want to stay away from this. But if you can take that, you know, it's handled with taste, and it's quite poetic. You'll probably enjoy it. Anyone looking to check it out, it's only about an hour long. You can buy it in stores. It's still normal DVD price, about $25. But I would advise you to check it out. It's not bad. It's quite good.